And now we come to the fourth month. You notice the name of the fourth month. Can anyone pronounce that for me? Tammuz. Tammuz. Right on the biblical Hebrew calendar, we have the month of Tammuz. That's what it is on the Jewish calendar. Does anyone know anything about Tammuz? We read about Tammuz in Ezekiel 8. It talks about the the women weeping for Tammuz. Now, what is this women weeping for Tammuz? What do we have going on here? We have to just step back a little bit and find out who Tammuz's mother was. Because his mother was married to Nimrod. Nimrod, the builder of the Tower of Babel, that's his fame. He died and he ascended up into heaven and became the sun, or the sun god. Now, many, many months later, after his death and then ascension, and he became the sun god, then his widow, Semiramis, became pregnant, and the story was she became pregnant by the rays of the sun, her husband who ascended into heaven. So it is that we have the month of Tammuz. Now, what happened is Semiramis died, but as luck would have it, she was reincarnated on the first Sunday after the vernal equinox as Easter, the goddess of fertility, who came down out of heaven in this giant egg, landing in the Euphrates River, busting out and turning a bird into an egg-laying rabbit. Then Tammuz died, as luck would have it. You do use the word facetiously, because he died by being gored by a wild boar in his 40th year. And so, from then on, after his death, he was worshipped by setting aside one day of weeping for Tammuz for each year of his life. So the 40 days preceding the day when his mother was reborn as Easter, the goddess of fertility, that is set aside the 40 days of weeping for Tammuz. Now I think it's called Lent. And then on Easter Sunday, then they kill the wild boar that killed Tammuz and eat ham on Easter Sunday. This is the sick sun god perversion that Israel got into, and God says it's an abomination. It's utterly detestable, repugnant, and putrid. The word abomination, one of the strongest words in the entire Hebrew language. And of course, we see that same thing has been adopted by the Christian Gentile church, and they think it's in worship of the true God. It is not. It is utterly detestable to the true God, and he said, do not learn the way of the heathen. Do not learn how they serve their gods. Do it and say you're doing it for me. It's an abomination. So those who would say, well, it doesn't mean that to me, well, it really doesn't matter what it means to you. We don't worship you. We worship the true God. And if he says it's an abomination, then it's an what? Abomination. Just pure and simple. Now, I don't know too many people who nowadays would believe that story, especially if your daughter tried to tell it to you. But this was the story, that she became pregnant with the rays of the sun. Now, she gave birth to Tammuz on December 25th. That is the birthday of the Babylonian sun god, December 25th. And I think it's important probably to point out, she became pregnant with the rays of the sun. Now, she gave birth to Tammuz on December 25th. That is the birthday of the Babylonian sun god, December 25th. And I think it's important probably to point out, see, we went into captivity in Babylon. We were involved in the worship of Tammuz. We know his birthday was December 25th. We came out of Egypt. We know that the Egyptian sun god Ra was born on December 25th. The Romans hung us on the cross, which was the sign of the Roman sun god Mithra, who was born on December 25th. They sacrificed Jews to their sun god Mithra, born on December 25th. And Antiochus Epiphanes came into Jerusalem, slaughtered a pig on the altar in 168 BC, and set up a statue of Zeus, the Greek sun god, on December 25th, his birthday. Now there's one day I will guarantee you that Jesus of Nazareth was not born. It's December 25th. That's why if Western Gentile Christians attempt to try birthday, now there's one day I will guarantee you that Jesus of Nazareth was not born. It's December 25th. That's why if Western Gentile Christians attempt to try birthday, now there's one day I will guarantee you that Jesus of Nazareth was not born. It's December 25th. That's why if Western Gentile Christians attempt to try to witness to Jews and they have Jesus dressed up in a bunch of pagan sun god garments, then don't blame them if they don't believe it because you've got them dressed up looking like a pagan sun god. They're not supposed to be worshiping pagan sun gods, and don't dress Jesus up like that. He was born on Tishri 15, and if you can't celebrate his birthday on the right date, then don't celebrate pagan sun god. They're not supposed to be worshiping pagan sun gods, and don't dress Jesus up like that. He was born on Tishri 15, and if you can't celebrate his birthday on the right date, then don't celebrate any pagan sun god's birthday.